Let's snatch this schnoz. Whoop! Things are flying, of course. I can't even deal. Woo. Hey fam. So for today's video, I was really inspired, obviously, by the color purple, you know. Was looking through my makeup collection and I was super duper inspired by one shade in a Profusion palette that I have. And that is the color Nebula from the Pro Pigment palette. This palette was actually recommended to me by my girlfriend Angie. It's a really pretty purple color. I did receive these brushes from Instylish. So you can see they are a little dirty now. I use these to create the eye look I have on my eyes today. I'm very excited to get into these products with you and let you know what I think about these brushes. So if that sounds interesting to you and you want to see how I came up with this very purple look, just go ahead and stay tuned. I completely forgot to tell you guys that this is actually a full face of affordable makeup, which was like the entire intention behind the video, and I completely forgot to mention it in my intro, so my apologies, but that is the theme of this video. Okay. Peace. The first product we're going to go in with is this Prime and Fine by Catrice. This is a great hydrating primer. It's super affordable and it's said to be a dupe for the Smashbox Primerizer. The next affordable products I'm going to go in with are the Flower Beauty trifecta we have here. This is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Luminous Makeup Nude Skin Feel. We've got the concealer, which is the full coverage concealer. And then we also have the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Perfecting Powder. Next, we're going to go in with the full coverage concealer. And I'm just going to apply this under my eyes, and then I have a little bit of breakouts here and there, so I'm going to go ahead and touch this up as well. And I really love this e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush. I actually learned about this brush from Juicy Jazz. She had done an entire video dedicated to e.l.f. It was a sponsored video. And I learned about so many cool products in that video. I actually ran out and purchased quite a few things from her recommendations that day. And I have been loving this Flawless Concealer brush. It really does buff and blend your foundation beautifully. It really provides a nice even application. So next, before going into this Flower Beauty Light Illusion powder, I'm going to go ahead and set my concealer with the Coty Airspun. This setting powder is really great. It's very affordable. I think this entire giant container is like $6. I picked mine up at Target. And a lot of people do complain if you have sensitivity around scents. This does have a perfumey smell. However, for me, I actually really appreciate the smell. It brings back a lot of nostalgia for me. I heard about this product a lot, especially from Tati. She had raved about this, but I hadn't seen what the packaging actually looked like. And so I went out to look for it and pick it up. And when I saw it and smelled it, it immediately transported me back to being little and playing in my grandmom's makeup in her vanity. And I believe she had this product back then. I didn't realize until I smelled it. I'm like, oh, grandmom. So yeah, this product has been around for a really long time. It's since 1935. It's still a favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and dust this under my eyes and just where I put concealer on my face. So I'm just going to swirl my brush in the powder that I have in the top of the container here. This does come with a powder puff, but I prefer to use a brush. I also want to add that before I started my makeup, I did go in with moisturizer, under eye cream, a little bit of the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist, which in my opinion is one of the very best scents to ever exist. It is such a pleasant scent to me. And I really love that product. I also do want to let you know that I started out with my Katsy Lou Beauty H2O Plumping Gloss. This is not an affordable product, but this is a fantastic product. I have noticed such a humongous change in my lips since I started using this. My lines are not as pronounced. My lips are much softer and more hydrated overall. And while I still do have dry lips every single day, they're not as tight. I just feel like the texture on them has gotten so much better. I really highly recommend this product. If you pick up anything from Katsy Lou, I would pick this up. It is incredibly moisturizing with really high quality products. It is fantastic. Highly recommend. And I have a discount code, not affiliated, so we can all save some money. Thank you, Kat. So next I'll go in with the Light Illusion Perfecting Powder over the rest of my face. And I just want to use this to kind of set down any wetness from the foundation that's left over, and just to kind of buff out and perfect the blend on my face with the powder. So next for bronzer, I'm going to go in with an oldie but goodie. This is an old favorite of mine. This is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. This is in Sunlight. It's the first shade 01. And this is a great cool tone bronzer. I think this is also fantastic for contouring. So we're going to go ahead and do both of those today. I'm just going to swirl my bronzer brush in the product. And we're just going to apply it to my cheeks, my forehead, and my nose. It's not too orangey. It's really, really complimentary. It blends beautifully. It doesn't get all patchy and weird. I just think this is fantastic. This would be absolutely one of my highest drugstore recommendations for bronzer. The Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula is also really beautiful. But this Milani one is just so special. I really, really love it. You can pick up Milani at Target. You can pick it up at Ulta. I'm sure Walmart carries it. It may be available in the drugstore, but it's for sure available in those places that I mentioned. I'm just gonna get under my jaw as well and down my neck, just to make sure that I don't have like a line of demarcation where my makeup is versus where my makeup is not. And as I mentioned, I'm also gonna use this product to contour my nose. Go with my little Eco Tools. Just put a little bit on my brush. Snatch this schnoz. And this is a trick I learned from Jackie Aina, with just contouring the inner part of your eyes. It really helps with nose contour. And I don't want you to be alarmed. The line I'm going to draw is absolutely a little bit harsh in the beginning, but I will buff it out with powder. I found that this is like my absolute favorite way to nose contour. I've tried so many different methods, and this is the one that I've really just stuck with once I found this style of application. So I'm going to go back into my Flower Beauty Light Illusion powder. I'm just going to pick some up on this brush. This is kind of the shape of it. And I like this brush to buff out my nose contour. And you can see that using that powder really helped to buff out those lines. It helped to kind of smooth everything out, kind of make it look like it was contoured underneath of my powder, which I like. So next for brows, I have two affordable products I want to use today. One is the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil in Brunette, and the other is the ColourPop Boss Brow Gel, and this is in the shade Dark Brown. And I'm starting just by kind of combing out my brows so I get the hairs all in place. And I'll just start by lining underneath, bringing that line kind of a little closer to my nose, and just following through the tail of my brow. And then I'll go up to the top. I start around here, and I'm just going to start filling this in, creating this shape, which is basically just following my standard brow shape, but just kind of making it a little bit fuller and cleaner. For the front of my brow, I'm going to turn my pencil this direction, start here at the edge, and just flick up to add natural hair strokes to the front. And I apply a little bit more pressure here so that I can really try to define those hair strokes. This pencil is pretty good. My favorite is the NYX brow pencil, which is also very affordable. This is a little bit more affordable. I think this is like $6, where the NYX one is $10. But I feel like you can get more defined strokes with the NYX than this one, but this one still works really well. And as fast as we go through brow products, it's nice to be able to save some money. And I'm going to go back with the spoolie and just brush through. And then I'll finish up with the Boss Brow Gel to just kind of set everything into place. So I'll do my other brow, and then we'll move on to our next products. Next for blush, we're going to go in with the Juvia's Place, the Saharan Blush Volume 2. This is a gorgeous palette. So I'm actually going to tap into Lena, which is this kind of lighter pink. So next for the eye look, we're going to do a combination of palettes, but they're all affordable. I was really, really inspired today by this palette. This is the Profusion Pro Pigment, and there is a shade in here called Nebula, which is my absolute favorite shade in this palette. It's one of the prettiest shades I've ever seen. So my entire look today is inspired by that color, as well as some affordable brushes that I received. So today I want to show you guys the Not Basic eye brush set. This is from a brand called Instylish. This brand sells beauty tools like beauty sponges, brushes. They also sell eyelashes, and they actually reached out to me on Instagram and invited me to try these brushes. They did send these over to me to try out with you guys and let you know what I think. So these are an affordable brush set. You get 4 eye brushes in here for $12.99. They are currently on sale. I believe the full price is $15.99, but you do get 4 brushes and they do come in plastic. And these are pretty good brushes so far from the looks of them. As you can see, they are all branded with the Instylish logo. And we are going to try these out on my eyes today to create this cute little purple eye look. We'll put these to the test and see how they work. The first brush I'm going to start out with is this bigger, fluffier brush. And I'm going to use this for my very first transition color. For that color, I'm going to reach into the Pro Pigment palette, and I'm going to use the shade Fling right here. I actually was inspired to purchase this palette because Angie recommended it to me. So definitely wanted to try out a palette that she really, really loves. So I'm just picking up some on this brush. And we are going to get started with this one in the crease. And I basically just wanted to set down a neutral color. I will say that this brush is a little bit stiff, but it is blending very nicely. The bristles are soft and silky. And I'm finding that I'm wanting to turn the brush, so I'm kind of starting out like this to kind of get it into the crease. But then I'm coming back and turning it kind of long ways and sweeping the color to blend. And it's actually doing a better job than I expected it to. I typically go into my crease with a really fluffy brush, and I was a little concerned with how stiff this one was, but it is giving me a lot of control and it's still blending out the shadow beautifully. Next, I'm going to reach into this fluffier brush and I'm going to go in with my second color. For that, I'm going to use the ColourPop Zodiac palette. I want to reach into this light periwinkle shade here, the Aquarius, and I'm just going to build that up in the crease. I'm taking this a little bit lower because I want this to be a fun, colorful look, but I don't want it to be crazy. Because it is a little stiffer, it does allow for more precise application. The other thing I like about these brushes, because they're a little stiffer and synthetic, they're not picking up a ton of product. So you are able to kind of build the color a little bit more if you're kind of just starting out and you don't want to go a little too crazy with like a real fluffy brush and have shadow all over the place. It is nice to have an affordable brush set that you can kind of have a little bit more control with, and it deposits the product a little bit more minimally so you don't have a ton to blend out at once. So now that I have that color placed, I am just going to go ahead and buff it out. And I'm going to reach into another brush from my collection, just any fluffy brush will do. Because the set doesn't come with specifically a fluffy brush, I want to just use this to buff it out. Okay, so now that we have that periwinkle blue blown out, I'm going to go into the Profusion Wanderlust palette, and I want to reach into the shade Retro, this color here. I'm going to go with that same brush I used with the blue and pick up some of the purple. And then I want to work this lower into my crease. I'm also using this to kind of deepen up the outer V.
Request my chariot, get ya. The doors OPEN. Take that hot road and hop in. Monarch butterflies, you should open.
And then reaching back into the same blue from the Zodiac palette, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of like meld these. I don't want to lose this periwinkle color, so I'm just going to kind of build up my brush with the periwinkle and kind of go back over this purple.
She's closing up. Come to visit me. She say that she the loneliest and it's hard to open up. Open you up like a pokeball.
And then reaching back into my clean fluffy brush, I'm just going to go ahead and blend these out. I'm just wiggling my brush back and forth. I just want a gradient of periwinkle into this blue violet color. Okay, so now for the piece de resistance, I'm going to go in with this flat shader brush. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull up some of this nebula shade and really pack it on my brush. And we're gonna go ahead and apply this to my lid. This color is so beautiful, I can't even deal. So we're just gonna place this all over the lid. We're gonna pray to the fallout gods that I don't end up with purple shimmer all over my face, but so far so good. I'm surprised at the lack of fallout, especially for a shimmery color like this. Next for my highlight, I'm going to go with this Morphe highlighter palette, and I'm going to grab this really pretty purple shade on this flat angled brush from Instylish and just highlight my brow. I think that applied the highlight very nicely. I'm also going to use the same highlighter on my cheeks, just to be fun. We're just going to have our cheeks pop off. Ooh, girl. Oh, yes, she did. I got to go to the grocery store after this, just so y'all know. Well, sorry, Giant. For liner, I'm going to go in with these two ColourPop shades. We have this Periwinkle tone in Prance, and then we have this beautiful violet shade in Piggy Bank. I'm going to go ahead and line my upper eyes with the purple, my lower eyes with the blue, and I'll be right back. So now that my liner is done, I'm going to go back with this little guy with the Periwinkle blue under my eyes. And I'm going to buff it out with this clean blending brush. Then my one little cheat for this video, because I couldn't resist, I'm going to use the Stila Glitter and Glow. This is in the shade Into the Blue. This is not necessarily an affordable product, but you can often find these for like $8, I think, or $9 at TJ Maxx. Maybe even like $6.99, like $7. So keep an eye out, but I could not use this color. It's so pretty. It's like a blue purple. So we're going to use this on the inner corner. And right on cue, my battery died. So that's now replaced. We'll get back to our Stila Glitter and Glow. Just on the inner corner. Just to make that nebula shade pop. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this look. I look insane, especially for going to the grocery store. But I don't even care. I've wanted to play with this color for the longest time, and I'm really happy with how this look turned out. It's a little cray-cray, clearly, but so am I, so, you know, no problem there. Just gonna kind of blend this a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna throw on mascara, which is gonna be my CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara, and I'm also gonna pop on lashes, and I'll be right back with my thoughts on these brushes. Oh, and I almost forgot, we're actually gonna set the face with this Master Fix by Maybelline. Okay, so I do like this product. The sprayer is a little bit violent, like not violent, I shouldn't say that. It's a little like the drops are a little big to be like hitting your face. Like it's not the finest mist, but I really love the solution to the setting spray. I find it sets your face beautifully. It really melts all the makeup together, and it's very affordable. Now that I'm soaking wet, we'll just hand fan, and yeah, then we'll get back to lashes. For lips, we're going to use this Maybelline Color Sensational Lip in Violet Vixen. Oh, we're going there.
We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot to get ya. The door's OPN. Take that high road and hop in.
So let me pop on some lashes. Okay, we're back. Lashes are on, and I want to give you guys my final thoughts on these brushes from Instylish. So first of all, pros. I really like this little mesh bag. I think it's really cute. It's sturdy. I like the little zipper. I love the little branding here. I think this is great for travel. Just store your brushes, throw them quickly in your travel bag. And in terms of the brushes themselves, I think the brush shapes provide a nice variety. I'd say the cons are that I wish that these were fluffier brushes. I wish this one was fluffier. I wish this one was fluffier. I loved this one. This was my absolute favorite one, the basically like the flat shader brush. And I also like this angle brush. I thought it gave precise application for my brow highlight. I also want to try this on the inner corner real quick because I realized I forgot. Whoop! Things are flying, of course. So I'm going to go back into this purple highlighter, grab a little bit on this flat brush, and I just want to hit the inner corner of my eye to just add a little bit of highlight there. Since this is a darker look, I just want there to be a little bit of brightness. Much better. Okay. What I do like about it though is that because it is a little stiffer, you can get a more precise application. So if you don't really want to blow out your upper lid, this is nice to actually just place the color where you want it. However, it's really hard to blend things out. I did find a nice use in applying the shade like this and then blending this way. I did find that that actually did help. I did ultimately have to go back in with a fluffier brush just to really buff out the color. This one was probably my least favorite brush. Reason being is that I did like that you can use this for more precise application, but when you're trying to do a full eye look and you're trying to blow out that next color, I found this really did kind of place the color where I wanted to put it, but it kind of just left it where I placed it. I wasn't able to really blend that well with this brush. It also made things a little bit more difficult to buff out then later because of the fact that this puts so much product in one place. I really had to blend and blend and blend with a fluffy brush forever. But I do think this would be nice for the under eye application because it is a little stiffer. This one I absolutely loved. I thought it picked up that shimmery, glittery purple shade beautifully. I thought it would be all over my face. This really didn't allow for much fallout. Also, the product is good and it applied it perfectly. I just tapped it onto my lid. This one, as I mentioned, I thought was really good for precision. All in all, I think this is a very affordable brush set, being that it's only $12.99 for 4 brushes plus your little travel case. I think these would be ideal for someone who's looking for brushes that are a little bit more stiff, who maybe has a lot of fluffy brushes in their collection and is looking for something for a little bit more detail work and precise application. My critiques would be to maybe include a fluffy brush with this brush set so that you can blend. They seem to be good quality. I didn't lose any brushes or notice any brushes coming out over my face. So I'm pretty happy with these. I'm very grateful to Instylish for sending these to me to test and to share with you guys. I will go ahead and leave their website down below. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this look today, and I look forward to talking to you soon. I love you all so much. Until next time, bye.